Today, we're diving into the mind of Goldman Sachs CEO David Solomon. This is a guy who's right at the center of all the huge forces shaking up our world, the economy, our jobs, you name it. So the big question is, what does he see coming around the corner? Let's find out.
All right, here's the game plan. We're going to follow his thinking across 5 key themes. We'll kick things off with the economy's crazy balancing act, then see how that plugs into this incredible tech acceleration that's happening. From there, we got to ask, are we in a bubble? Then we'll check out how CEOs are responding with a massive boom in deal making. And we'll wrap it all up with the question on everyone's mind. What does this all mean for the future of our jobs?
So first up, the economic balancing act. Solomon basically sees the economy as this giant tug-of-war. You've got these powerful forces pulling us forward, but at the exact same time, you've got these serious headwinds trying to drag us back.
And we're not talking about small forces here. These things are massive. Pushing us forward, you've got huge tailwinds like aggressive government spending and this enormous infrastructure build-out happening across the country. But pulling in the opposite direction are some pretty significant headwinds. Things like new trade policies and, just a whole lot of geopolitical fragility around the globe.
So who's winning this tug-of-war? Well, Solomon's got his eye on 3 key things. First, the labor market. He says it feels a little bit softer right now. Not because of a recession, but because companies are kind of hitting pause to figure out how to best use all this new technology. Second, inflation. Are the higher prices we're seeing just a one-time blip, or is this a long-term thing? And finally, overall growth. Right now, it's under 2%, but he's expecting it to start picking up steam.
All that uncertainty in the economy really shines a spotlight on the one area that is moving with, absolute certainty, the great tech acceleration. Solomon says this isn't just another trend, no way. This is a force that is fundamentally rewriting the rules of productivity itself. To really make this point hit home, Solomon tells this fantastic personal story. He says when he was starting out, if you wanted to compare 5 companies, it meant a 2-hour trip to the library, digging through these ancient microfiche files. Can you even imagine? Today, you can get that same info, literally, in a fraction of a second, just by talking into your phone. That's not just an improvement. It's a quantum leap in productivity. And here's the real kicker. This goes way beyond just finding stuff faster. Solomon says AI is now a tool for creation. Think about software coding. A project that used to take a team of 10 people can now be done by one single, really talented coder who's got the right AI tools. It's an insane productivity multiplier. So what's the bottom line here? According to Solomon, this is not a gimmick. This wave of technology is a fundamental tool that just lets productive people and businesses become even more productive. It just amplifies everything they do.
Okay, this leads us right to a huge question. With all of this excitement, all this money pouring into tech, are the markets getting a little ahead of themselves? Come on. Are we in a bubble? And just for context, we're talking about a market that is sitting at record highs. The S&P 500 is already up 15% just this year. That kind of run is exactly what makes people start to get a little nervous. And Solomon doesn't shy away from this at all. He comes right out and says it. He would not be surprised to see a pretty big market correction, he calls it a drawdown, sometime in the next year or 2. He's convinced that a reset is going to happen at some point. But here's the thing. He doesn't frame this like it's the end of the world. He sees it as a pattern we've seen over and over again. A big new technology comes along, it creates a ton of excitement, and the market just runs way ahead of what's actually possible right away. It happened with the dot-com boom, right? There will be huge winners like Amazon was, and a whole lot of losers. A correction is just part of that natural cycle. So while investors are trying to figure out that market cycle, CEOs, they are not sitting on their hands. They're making moves right now. And that has triggered a massive boom in mergers and acquisitions. According to Solomon, deal making is back, and it's back in a really big way. So what flipped the switch? What unleashed this flood of deals? Solomon points to one major thing, a total shift in the regulatory environment. For the last few years, if you were a CDO trying to get a big strategic deal done, the answer from regulators was almost always just a simple no. But now, that's changed. CEOs feel like they can actually get these big transactions done again. And the numbers here, they are absolutely staggering. We're talking about a $1 trillion quarter for deal volume. That's trillion with a T. And for the really big deals, companies worth over $10 billion, activity has literally doubled compared to last year. This isn't a small jump. It's a tidal wave.
Which brings us to our final and maybe the most important question of all. With all this tech changing everything and all these companies merging, what does it mean for us, for our jobs? This is the one, right? The question everyone is asking. Are these super productive AI tools going to end up getting rid of jobs? Well, Solomon's answer is, it's complicated. And it really comes in two parts. He says the key difference, the thing it all comes down to, is growth. Think about it. If you have a business that just stays the same size forever, then yeah, of course AI will let you operate with fewer people. But for a growing business, one that's using AI to become more productive so it can expand and get more clients, that actually creates the need for more people, more jobs. So what's his final verdict on this? He's an optimist. He truly believes that because this tech is going to fuel so much growth, companies like his will actually have more jobs in 10 years, not fewer. He looks at history and says, every time a new technology has made us more productive, we've ultimately created more opportunity. He really doesn't think it's different this time. And that really leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Solomon has laid out this crystal clear cycle. You get a technological boom that creates a market frenzy, which is always followed by some kind of correction, and then a period of reinvention. So the real question isn't if that reset is going to happen, it's who is going to come out on the other side as the next generation of winners.